Today's show is important to me because many of us suffer from insecurity, low self-esteem, lack of confidence, all that stuff we talk about, but sort of try to hide at the same time. Well, that's going to end today. Emily Roberts is joining us. She's a practicing psychotherapist who specializes in self-esteem. Start us off, Emily. Who are the people most likely to have this problem, to be insecure?
Who isn't? I mean, I'm insecure about some things. I'm sure you're insecure about a few things. Jill so bravely is telling us she's insecure about things. Everybody's insecure. And it's so important that we're talking about this because there's a mind-body connection here that we can't ignore, right? If you're insecure about something, it really takes over your life. And it's insidious. It's this cyclical thinking of, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not good enough. And that affects your mind, it affects your body, it affects your spirit.
So this feeling of not feeling good enough that you mentioned earlier, specifically, how does it block you from getting to your potential? Why can't you just push through it?
It keeps you in a box, really. I mean, it keeps you from doing the things that you know you can do at some level. But let's be honest. The first part of this that we're kind of ignoring is it's not your fault if you're insecure. It's not because of something that you've done. It's the experiences that perhaps you've had, but it's not your fault.
So give us some habits that you think classically break down our self-esteem, things that actually build up our insecurities.
Okay, well, I love that you said, Jill, I love that you said the Facebook stuff. When you notice that you're doing something that's triggering an insecure thought, when you can avoid those triggers temporarily, what winds up happening is you can really start to rewire your brain. Your brain does change when you're able to see more positives versus negatives.
And what about women who, and I see this all the time,
Yeah.
who say, everything's fine, we're doing okay.
This is the one word that I don't allow in my office. You can say any other F word, but that one. Because it's so unhealthy, right? I'm telling people that I'm fine, don't worry about me. I'm minimizing myself. I'm not respecting myself either if I'm saying that, right?
No.
And so when I say everything is fine, I'm also suffocating my emotions. And when I do that, that's a really bad habit. Because what winds up happening is no one can help me. And then, you know what? You put them all down there somewhere, it's gonna come up eventually, and it comes out in disease, it comes out in illness, and it comes out in mental health issues.
Yeah. And let's deal with the last issue mothers often have to cope with,
Yeah.
which is trying to please others.
Who doesn't? You're no good to anyone else unless you're taking time to do self-care, taking time to do things for yourself and that builds you up. Jill, I want you, and we're gonna talk about this after the show, we're gonna work on getting more self-care for her in her life, doing the things that make her feel good, because when you're pleasing others, and for a lot of moms out there and dads, you're showing your kids that they should be that way too, unconsciously. What role model are you becoming for that child? I'll please everyone else before myself. What are they gonna do in 20 years?
Copy you.
Exactly, and we don't want those beautiful children doing the same thing.
So let's go through these steps that everyone can take advantage of. So first off, when we become aware of our triggers, learn to avoid them. You explained on Facebook. From now on, we're all going to do that. Social media is a particularly nefarious place to be for that reason. Second is turn down the volume of the self-talk that's so loudly shouting to us.
Right, so become aware of your triggers, right? But become aware of your negative self-talk. When you do that, it's actually empowering, right? If you notice when you're going to the mirror, like Jill said, I go to the mirror and I look at myself and I'm not happy. Well, let's find something you are happy about in that picture. Counteract each negative with a positive, because what I said before, it rewires your brain a bit. You start to see things in a more positive light.
You challenged us with saying that it wasn't our fault.
Yes.
How do we find out why we're insecure?
Well, that's a big issue for a lot of people. We want to find the reason. That girl that bullied me in 7th grade, I still remember your name, but those are the things that maybe triggered it. But they're not the cause of it now. What's happened is we've taken that and it's manifested into other areas of our lives, and it's not healthy. It's not helpful or healthy.
But the causes could be being bullied, even though maybe they didn't know you were bullying you. Something your mom said. You can always blame mom.
Right, but it could also be something that you interpreted. So you said, maybe you were the last person to get picked for a team, or maybe you saw other people and you compared yourself to them because they were better, fitter, whatever. Those are these beliefs, these thoughts that you've taken from childhood to now, but they're no longer serving you. Talk back to the thoughts. It's the most powerful thing you can do.
Thank you very much for taking Jill under your wings.
Absolutely.
Making sure she learns to talk back. I look forward to big things from her.
I do too.
Find information from all of our TrueTube experts and the guests of the Dr. Oz show at DrOz.com, TrueTube Hub. We'll be right back.
The Fat
shaming controversy hits a new low. The video that sparked outrage. Now, TLC star Whitney Thor is here, fighting back against the latest body shaming attack.
This is insane. I think that people are really threatened when they see a happy fat person.
Plus, you dropped your phone in the toilet. See how to survive life's now what moments. All new Oz. That's coming up on Wednesday. Insecurities and perception, they go hand in hand. The way you see something may be different from the way the person sitting right next to you sees them. That's never been more true than with this poem written by Cheney Gorkin, a teenager from Brooklyn. Now, whatever you're doing, I want you to stop for a second because this is a big, big exercise and you will all remember this for the rest of your lives, I think. A friend of mine sent it to me and asked that I read this poem to my staff. Now, take a look as they read it.
Today was the absolute worst day ever. And don't try to convince me that there's something good in every day, because when you take a closer look, this world is a pretty evil place.
Even if some goodness does shine through once in a while, satisfaction and happiness don't last.
And it's not true that it's all in the mind and heart, because true happiness can be obtained only if one's surroundings are good.
It's not true that good exists. I'm sure you can agree that the reality creates my attitude. It's all beyond my control.
And you'll never in a million years hear me say that today was a good day.
So, who wants to comment on that? How did that make you feel?
I believe it somewhat, but at the same time, I think it's very negative to look in that light because there is good in everything. It's just a matter of your mind and how you perceive everything.
But it was sort of sad to hear them say that.
It was. It's sad. It's sad.
And what do you think about it?
Life is what you make of it, and every day is a new start, and you find the good in things to make yourself smile.
So you didn't agree with it, but obviously it makes you emotional even to think about it. Will you do me a favor? This is the poem. This is the actual poem I got. Read the very bottom line. What's that? Take the mic here. You need the mic next to your mic so they can hear you. What does the bottom line say?
Today was a good day.
No. The very bottom line. The real bottom line.
Now read from the top. Now read from bottom to top.
Right. Now I'm going to read that exact same poem from the bottom up. Take a look.
Today was a good day, and you'll never in a million years hear me say it's all beyond my control.
My attitude creates the reality. I'm sure you can agree that it's not true that good exists only if one's surroundings are good.
True happiness can be obtained because it's all in the mind and heart.
And it's not true satisfaction and happiness don't last. Some goodness does shine through once in a while, even if the world is a pretty evil place.
Because when you take a closer look, there's something good in every day. And don't try to convince me that today was the absolute worst day ever.
Now, how did that make you feel this time?
Warm and fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy. Are you on warm and fuzzy? That's the right way to describe it. Listen, everything in life is about perception. You guys said it on your own. But even the way we read, the order we read these lines makes a difference. It's true in all things we do. So I want you to go through life thinking that the glass is half full. Read the poem from the bottom up and it changes everything, including your mood. Take this poem. You can print it out. You can put it out, send it to folks. I'm going to post it on Facebook. Share the positive vibes that gives you for the people around you. Print it, share it, do what you need to do with it. Make sure everyone realizes that we control our health and happiness because it starts at home. I'll see you next time.